Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Happy Tuesday to you, February 2nd, 2011. Here's your live recap. Now, of course, snow falling across the country this morning, guys. Have you had enough snow yet for you, right? Lots of snow dropping this morning, and of course that led to pretty much every exchange this morning was affected by snow. We had the CME group closing until 11 o'clock, and that led to a little bit less than expected volume we saw this morning. Now, with that slower volume, we also had to worry about 1030 crude inventories this morning. So we had inventories on crude, which also meant we were expecting to see we may have had a problem with crude this morning ahead of the news at 10:30. So we knew slow volume this morning, 8 o'clock, right? We expected it because of the snowstorm. But we also knew, right, a little bit more importantly, we had 10:30 news on crude, which we thought to ourselves, boy, if we don't see some happening, if we don't see some volume coming in quick, we may not get a chance to trade crude here until 10:30, 10:35. Now, we didn't have to wait that long. We actually got some crude trades at 9:30 this morning. So we did have to wait a little bit longer than normal this morning, but we did end up getting some trades taken at 9:30. We sold the highs on crude for a channel. We then bought the lows of that channel. We had really sloppy patterns on gold today. Gold and the dollar were kind of flatlined all morning this morning. Gold, we did take 2 winning trades on gold, but it was pretty sloppy today on gold. We had a wedge pattern on gold. We'll look at that in a moment. And of course, one of the most important things we talked about today was how to watch the market's personality, right? The market's personality, very important this morning, how we define the slow personality at the beginning of the morning, and then watch that personality develop, right, throughout the rest of the day. It's being able to look back in time, right, and have some sort of reference to what the slow price action looked like. That way I can make educated decisions as I saw the day start to pick up speed. So again, we had to wait a little bit this morning, and we waited this morning, right? Didn't have to wait too long until 9:30, and at 9:30 we started getting our trades setting up and our patterns triggered. So crude and gold today, guys, 218 ticks, guys, 2180. Now you'll notice right away we only got 46 of those ticks of profit on the final target. Now when you see the final target like this, guys, I want to see about 50% of my profit from the final target. If I don't get the final target 50% of my profit, that means I'm either A, not placing my target properly, or B, the market isn't moving enough, right, to get these trades really going today. Now, we had kind of a combination of both of those. In the beginning of the morning, we weren't getting very many big moves. So we were getting the +5, +10, and then reversing and scratching us out. Now, I also made a couple mental mistakes where I probably could have taken profit earlier, right? But I got greedy instead, and of course, couldn't get that final target filled. So a little bit of a combination of, right, I should have been more willing to take profit earlier, okay, and of course another problem was the market wasn't really moving very well today. So early morning snow, right, early morning sluggish price action, but we waited an hour. At 9:30 we got into our first trade on crude, and you can see 218 ticks in the day today, guys. Now that's 2180 for the day. That brings our weekly total to 5680, our monthly total now to 36,000. I'm sorry, monthly total of 5,600, and our yearly total here of 36,000 for the year of 2011. We're having a great year so far, guys. We had 31,000 in change in January, and of course, everything on 4 contracts. Now let's get to my dollar. Let's grab my dollar right now. My dollar is where I begin every day. Now the dollar this morning, as you can see here, we have this wedge pattern. And originally we saw the dollar had broken into lows, and we thought to ourselves, this is great, right? Maybe that dollar will keep going. Maybe we'll get a nice wave pattern on the dollar here, keep dropping. That wasn't the case though, right? That snow this morning really slowed everything down, and the dollar ended up going sideways on us. So the dollar bounced off these lows and goes sideways. And when the dollar bounces off the lows and goes sideways, guys, you know what that means to the rest of our markets, right? Crude, gold, euro, Russell, pretty much everything else now is going to be trading sideways right along with this dollar. So right off the bat this morning, we know we've got ourselves a little bit of a challenge here. We got some snow and we got some sideways ranges in the dollar. So that tells us be patient. Now at 8 o'clock this morning, all we knew was this may be a long day. But again, we didn't have to wait that long. But at 8 o'clock, it was so important that we took our morning prep, we drew our trend lines, we got ready for all the trades that day. Very important, guys. We didn't waste any time this morning just sitting here twiddling our thumbs or watching TV or listening to the news reports, right? We made sure we were ready for this market whenever it started moving today. Now here on crude, guys, couple things here on crude. Now first of all, we have a sideways range on crude, right? That was the first thing I saw. Sideways range on crude. And you can see the big round number of 91. 91 is the low of that sideways range. Now what does that mean? That means if I break back above 91, I'm going to buy those lows. I'm going to look to buy that support of 91, bringing us right back up into that sideways range.